Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on, somebody. Boo-doo-doo-doo. Good morning. How y'all doing this morning? Ready for this Sunday morning worship with Rico? Ready for this sermon? Get ready, get ready, get ready. There's a creak in this old building. I gotta move. I got to move. I got to move. There's a creak in this old building. I gotta keep on moving. Got to keep on moving. Yeah. Y'all come on in here. All right, let's go ahead. Sunday morning worship with your man Rico. I'm back. For y'all, those of you who missed the 9 o'clock, come on in for this 10 o'clock service. And this morning's, but first of all, y'all share and like this service, because some of y'all decided to not go to your building for a sermon this morning. So y'all come on in here. I got a word for you. And y'all know where I'm going with this. No, you don't. I might have to take a seat for this instead of standing at the pulpit. I might have to take me a seat on this beautiful Sunday morning. But 10 o'clock is still considered morning. But these days, particularly here in Texas, you better get up about 5 o'clock and get it started. If you mess around and let 11 o'clock hit you, you try to do something outdoors, you forget about it. At least until about 7, 6 or 7. But right now, I'm pushing it. Thank God there's a breeze. But anyway, y'all, let me get to it. The sermon, the title of my sermon this morning is, I think God hates that we stop being black. I'm talking to black people. I know a lot of y'all so multicultural and so multiracial that y'all hate hearing black. But I don't. I'll never get tired of it because I understand the history. I understand the significance of saying black. You know, I do. So, you look at the history of it, the Black Panthers and all those who did so much good in the community referred themselves as black, and in our movement, the movement then was called Black Power. And I think we've given up our black power in so many ways. It's ridiculous. So many recent incidents have been occurring within the last month or so, where it's almost as if black Americans have stopped being black. Let me give you all some examples. I'll start with most recent. Most recently, the black mother who walked up to the door in Florida, and the white racist shot through the door. The white woman shot through the door. Let's go to Kansas City. Was it Missouri? The black boy walked up to the door but to the wrong address. And the old white guy shot through the door and shot him. Luckily, he didn't die. What's so messed up about that? He shot through the door, shot the boy. Then when the boy was on the ground, that old fool came out and stood over him with the gun and shot him. And then we have, what's is going on there? Black folks just, I can even go to, I remember that situation where that little white girl in New York jumped on that 14-year-old boy. saying that he stole her cell phone. And the district attorney there, Alvin Bragg, the one who made up all them damn charges about Trump, he let her off. Did y'all know that she got off with a slap on the wrist with that? And the list goes on and on of what people are doing to black people. It doesn't seem to be a big outrage. It doesn't seem to be a big retaliation effort. And that's how I know it's a lot of incidents. Y'all can remember ones even more that's been happening in the news or that has happened in the news. Y'all can remember a whole lot of stuff that's been taking place. That somebody's doing something to black people. My friend Mary Mack told me of an article of where I think 3 black men in Mississippi were dating these white girls, and the cops pulled up on them, took them and tortured them and beat them like it was 1955. Tortured them and beat them, and they're barely going through the criminal justice system. I think the DA or the sheriff, they decided, they're dragging their feet on whether or not they're going to charge them. But I'll look at the story. And I don't understand how all of this is being done to black folks and really no heads have been rolling. And I'm not talking about through the criminal justice. I'm talking about through the streets. I don't understand it. They were scratching my head for the longest. We're taking beatings. We're taking insults. We're taking attacks. We're taking attacks as if we live in Jim Crow. Literally, black people are afraid of whites. I'm watching it. I'm telling you, I'm watching it. Black men are really afraid of whites. Black women, due to the fact that they still... Black women, due to the fact that they have the gender on their side, they get a pass. They get to talk crazy and, still yell out and scream out. But black men have really been defeated by the white system. I mean, they don't... You hear stuff happen to other black dudes, you don't hardly hear a peep. You might he not only hear a peep, but you don't see them make any movements. And then as a community, we're sitting around getting bullied by everybody. A little black boy was shot in the back. What was that town? But an Asian man and his son chased the boy out, who was allegedly stealing some water. Of course, that's wrong. Should not be doing it, but how you chase somebody down and shoot him in the back? See, all that kind of shit. Hell, even my hometown in Memphis, Tennessee. My old neighborhood, little store, some Arabs. They shot a black boy. Chased him down and shot him. And I said, damn, the store ain't burned down or nothing? It's weird. So what is it? I always ask myself, what is it? Because we're beginning to behave and, like they've turned back the clock. You always hear these black talking heads on CNN and MSNBC and all these so-called black Negrofists or activists or whatever they all call themselves. They're turning back the clock. Well, they're talking about voting rights. But no, they're turning back the clock on damn near everything. Because we're standing there watching them wind it with their finger backwards. We got all these black attorneys. We got all these black financiers. We have all these black people who are politicians. And how in the hell are they able to turn back the clock? Somebody's playing games in our race. See, I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from. Elijah Muhammad, about 75 years ago, told us that the white man is the devil. Based on his history of violence and his actions towards not just American blacks, but of all over the world. When he's gone, there's been suffering, there's been devastation, there's been war. And so, for me understanding that, I don't blame white people for being white. Or I don't blame Asians, whites, Hispanics, homosexuals. I don't blame anybody for being who and what they are. Because when you understand it, you act accordingly. Black people in America stopped being black. We were a mighty powerful fist in the 60s. I'm reading the history of it all. And those who didn't go for that nonviolence shit, they weren't hardly bothered. They weren't messed with. It was just the blacks who were trying to, like white people, who got their ass kicked, water hosed, bombed, all this shit. And if the blacks who weren't trying to integrate, were trying to build their own, I guess they were attacked as well, but not for trying to hug them. I'm talking about the blacks who are trying to hug them and be all up on them. Rico, you're preaching separatism. No, I'm preaching reality because everyone else seems to be separate and doing just fine. They got all the laws. Every time you look around, that same U.S. Senate and Congress passing laws for them. You got the white president can do executive orders to make sure they get what they want legally, all kinds of protections, economic benefits from all of our tax dollars. But black Americans stop being black. Because you have to stop and ask, why is all this shit happening to black people? I mean, they do all kinds of stuff. Now, we always point out, black girls are missing. All these black children are missing. We point out stuff. When we point out stuff, who do you want to fix it? Y'all thinking of Jesus Christ gonna come with them damn chicken wings and come down and flap down and save you? It's the weirdest thing. It's too much stuff that's happening to blacks, and there hadn't been any physical retaliation. Because I know, and we all talk about it, if a black person bumped up against another black person, it's World War IV right there in that moment. And young black men, if you stepped on their new Jordans, they gonna tell you, oh my dead granny, oh my mama, right there. It's, as they say, on sight. But the white system is constantly attacking blacks. And they sit around waiting on the Department of Justice. They wait on a fucking racist, or they believe it's racist attorney general or prosecutor to straighten their business up. It's the weirdest thing. See, the only people that this stuff seems to work for are those who are protected by the system. Blacks are not protected. Y'all keep on throwing all these goddamn amendments up and shit, but how's that working? How's that work for blacks? Because we keep rebelling against our true natures as black people. And try to look around. Something's happening to us. Cops beating somebody, cops killing somebody, you get to sue them, but the taxpayers got to pay the bill. Where the black attorneys at? Stop waiting on the street activists to do every fucking thing. Where the black lawyers at? How come they don't fight to end qualified immunity? Well, all these black lawyers, all these Negroes that graduate every year from black law schools, white law schools, and not nail one of them using their law experience, their law expertise to end or demand an end to state by state qualified immunity. And number two, not one Negro lawyer, all these Negro lawyers that come out of black law schools and white law schools, none of them attack that particular law. They just, it's the weirdest thing. We don't talk about this stuff. But no, Dr. Umar, you listening? You want black men to collectively come in and clean up a mess we didn't make. But we don't hear our community talk about those who are in the system to make changes. It's the weirdest shit. And then we just sat around looking as if the shit not gonna hit you. How do we wake up? How do we wake up and look at ourselves as a race? How do we do that? I'm sure this weekend some black person was violated under the white racist system. And my thing is, don't y'all paint me as Rico so pro-black, Rico anti-this. You know what? I'm just like any Jew, any Asian, any homosexual, any Latino, Hispanic. I'm pro-me just like they're pro-them. So don't call me pro-black like it's something negative, fool. You got pro-Christians, pro-Muslims, pro-women. But when it comes to black men speaking about us and how we should protect us, all of a sudden being labeled a militant is a negative thing. So that's all I call is a bunch of deflective cowardice. Got all these goddamn philosophies of why we won't stand up and protect ourselves. And the men just Yeah, you know, just that generation that was raised by single moms, and they act a fool with each other, but they don't act no fool with others. And I witness it, I see it, I'm like, wow. Every time something pops off, we can see who did it. If they non-black, we drag our feet. Because let's go back in history. We understand, we still, even though we got master's degrees, law degrees, JDs, PhDs, with business owners making $200,000-$300,000 a year, but that same training that was given to Negroes during the plantation experience, I don't care what you do. You don't eyeball a white man. You don't walk when a white man or a white woman is walking on the sidewalk, you make sure you scoot over. That shit is psychological. That is subconscious. And we still behave that way. But somehow, that kind of training and respect gets lost on us when we're facing other blacks. But yet y'all want to debate about whether the Willie Lynch letter is real or not. Every goddamn word of that Willie Lynch letter is real. Go get you a copy. You want a copy from me? Send me $5. Can't, well, do make it $6 if I pull it off. Yeah, if you want a copy of my Willie Lynch letter, get at me. Send me $5. I'll email you a copy of mine. It's a nice full copy too. But I even got a book that says I'm breaking the chains of Willie Lynch letter. But we won't. Hold on a second. But we won't do the reading. And so when I say that black people stop being black, you know, even through Jim Crow, even when we were first released, historically speaking, when our race was released from chattel slavery, physical slavery, this country continued with the mental and psychological terrorism, physical terrorism on blacks. It wasn't enough that you set us free, but you kept fucking with us afterwards. You set us free with rags, with nothing, except for our natural born ability as carpenters, as masons, what else? As agriculturalists or farmers. Now our natural ability to build, and so that's how, and our ability with this pineal gland that just explodes with our creativity to build and to take care of ourselves, because we knew there wasn't nobody else to take care of us. And then even after you release the people who you had brutalized mentally, physically, sexually, psychologically for centuries, they were still able to make something out of nothing. And I just don't understand. Is it because we got iPhone 14, GoPro, whatever the fuck it is, because we got handheld drones that black people got stupid? What is wrong with the black American race? How have we become so dense and so cowardly? We don't even defend ourselves. We're afraid to even defend ourselves on the street. When somebody white gets out of line, somebody Asian gets out of line, somebody homosexual gets out of line, we just, but let somebody black get out of line, oh, we on their ass. Willie Lynch letter, 1-on-1. And we're still debating. This is not a debate for me, because when I hear the truth, I hear it. But those who don't want to hear the truth because they got something else going on, and the truth contradicts with their faux reality. But we're gonna get it one day, because I constantly see these incidents that happen to blacks. It's like, wow, if we were black people, this wouldn't be happening, or someone would be afraid to say it. You know how we're afraid when we don't even like to say the word Jew. We're afraid to say the word Jew. Because a Jew will be right, because you think one is going to appear. Hey, wait a minute. I don't like the way you said Jew. That sounds anti-Semitic. Like, we think a Jew going to pop out our ass out of somewhere, pop from behind a building somewhere and wave his little Torah. That's wrong. That's anti-Semitic. We don't say faggot anymore. Anything that we think that offends another group, we try to be mindful of, but we holler nigga day in and day out. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks. Y'all think that's Willie Lynch's letter? Y'all know how y'all say in the Bible and stuff or religious people say, you know, when you're disobedient to God, that's why a lot of things happen to you. You say you were disobedient to God. And then the plantation owner took it and said, you obey your master, or your days will be long. Anybody ever watched the movie 12 Years a Slave? You know what I'm talking about. Any slave movie. You can go back and watch Mandingo. You can watch Roots. They said the same thing. But y'all say the Willie Lynch letter is not real. It was, and so, and they talk about the curse of Ham and how black people came to be, all kinds of bullshit. I'm of the belief that because, you know, they say God don't like ugly. Well, I believe the black race in America has become so disobedient to God, in a sense. Not because you stop worshiping him or her or them, because you stop being what he created you to be. That is black. That's our power source. We've had scholar, we've had messenger after messenger, scholar after scholar sent here or groomed up from among us. Come on, somebody. To tell us these things. And we stood by and watched him or her get crucified. And it's something about that. Y'all gonna have to really talk about this now. There's something psychologically wrong with that picture. Whenever a black man or even a black woman stands up and tell the truth that shakes the cages of the white races, all of us get shook. You hear me? You don't want to, and then you hear the old Negroes, and who taught the young Negroes what they taught the young Negro male on the plantation 400 years ago. You don't want to be sad now. You don't want to make old master mad. You know you ain't gonna get no job. You're gonna be careful now. You're gonna have some stumbling blocks. You know, just y'all know all the Negro tales that they tell you when you dare stand up to tell the truth. But you know, women are a little freer. They get to say a few things. But black men have certainly gotten the message. Close your mouth and go run and dunk, nigga. Rap, nigga. They sit around and create babies with everybody, nigga. That's what we need you to do. Create more bastard kids for the prison industrial complex. You know, stud farming. That's still in the Negro male's mind today. That behavior. They call the future Nick Cannon and just average, less than average Negro male around here volunteering to stud these babies all over the place. It's amazing that we don't see, for religious folks will say we don't see scripture in action. For people like me, we don't see history repeating itself. Well, not even repeating, continuing on with the bullshit. But we won't read, you know. And then you have those who dare to speak the way I speak or go even further. You won't support them. What you do is you sit back and grab some popcorn to see exactly what happened to them. That's weird ass shit. Instead of you joining in, you always say you can defeat any cause with numbers. You know, with all the things that I disagree with, but my question still remains, why does there seem to be only one Dr. Umar Johnson? You know, why does there seem to be just one or two Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Brother Neely Fuller, Dr. Julia Hare, Attorney Michelle Alexander? Why it only seem to be with just so few when there could be hundreds and thousands of us thinking on the same page? Well, y'all know how powerful that is when you actually be black. See, a lot of us got this black thing like it's some kind of brand name. This ain't no brand name. Like we trying to make it like popular like Gucci or Balenciaga or Yves Saint Laurent or some shit like that. Black is not a brand. That's who we are. That's our battle cry. That's our defense. That's our motivation. That's our reason. That's our reason to move forward with our fist held up in our or fist in somebody's goddamn face. Not just politically, not just academically, but goddamn it physically. the same fist that we don't have a problem with throwing at our brother or our sister. But we will not throw it at somebody else, because we've messed around and allowed ourselves to be caught up in all these, what I call obstacles and distractions. You know, they call it multiculturalism, intersectionality, what's called diversity and inclusion, all this bullshit that goes against everything that's black. Civil rights movement, because they let you know how weak that was. Everybody got in on the civil rights movement. They let you know it was bullshit. How white women get in on the civil rights movement? How motherfuckers in wheelchairs get in on the civil rights movement? White folks. How did homosexuals get in on the civil rights movement? Everybody's in on it. Who's benefit more from the civil rights movement than black people. And then a lot of us are so stupid. These so-called attorneys and these PhDs, master's degrees, researchers, and so-called black intelligentsia are so intellectually lazy and disingenuous that they won't even come out as a large group and say, wait a minute, civil rights is for black people. A white woman, what's that white woman on Fox? Damn. And they hate her too. She's a blonde white woman that said it out loud. Civil rights is for black people. But Negroes didn't pay no attention, and the white right show couldn't stand her for saying that. And the white liberals hated her. The white liberals hated her for saying it. Because they understand how they look, their lifeblood is off the ignorance of blacks. You know, I'm not going to spend my life being a color. Then Michael Jackson said that silly shit. Yeah, we know Michael Jackson. You sucked all the color out your ass. Michael Jackson, the most talented man on the planet. But he's also the most self-hating motherfucker on the planet, too. You know, you can separate the art from the person. Yeah, you can. I love Michael Jackson. I will, do drop kicks on behalf of Michael Jackson as it relates to his talent. He was the king. Nobody ever come close to him. But he was a self-hating motherfucker. I'm going to spend my life being the color. Hey, would you agree with me? That black or white. Y'all remember that little line in the song, Black or White? Then when they realized that he can make his face white as all he wanted to, and they showed his ass, it don't matter how you suck all the color, melanin out your skin, then he going to come later on in years when his popularity has waned. He's not as popular as he was in the 80s, because he ruled the 80s. He was kind of popular up until 92, 93. Then he put out a song in a prison saying they don't really care about us. I got it. Y'all sure wait a long time to try to put out something that's considered black, you black artists. When y'all are hot and on fire, y'all stay away from racial issues and racial topics. But then the white folks get on y'all ass and y'all start losing the money. All of a sudden now, you want to get BET on us. So y'all shut the fuck up. It happens every time. Again, do you. Title of my sermon today is, I think God hates that black people stop being black. Because no one else has stopped being white. No one has stopped being homosexual. No one has stopped being Asian, immigrant, migrant. No one else has stopped being them. But we think it's a cool thing. We thought it was that we were doing the American thing by stop being black. And it's the worst thing we could have done, because everybody just kicks dirt in our face, knocks over our sandcastles, just treats us like shit. And we do nothing but sit around when we holler racism, but we go to the same system that we believe is racist to help us when a racial incident occurs. Get out of here. We're bigger than that now. I mean, everybody talks shit to blacks. Then we get online and try to cancel them. That shit don't matter. You got to physically straighten your business up. Yeah, social media has made weaklings out of us. Instead of getting our ass out there. And it can work for us, but we don't know how to make it work for us. A boycott is something you physically do. You don't let them have it online. Give them a little public ridicule. It works in some cases, But one thing it has done is stopped us from coming together as a group and literally straightening our business up. When a cop kills somebody, we see the evidence that they dogged that kid out or dogged that man out or dogged that woman out. Y'all supposed to visit that cop's house. Did y'all know when police get off from work, they don't get on a rocket ship and head to Pluto? They live just 5 miles or 10 miles away from you in their little suburbs. So I don't understand how they get to come to work every day. I'm talking about the ones who do dirty shit. How they allowed to come to work every day and do dirty shit to black folks? That's what I don't understand. And then you know how gang members just do. If they can't get you, they're going to shoot up your mama house or they get retaliation of somebody else. How are these cops not feeling, having second thoughts about mistreating somebody black in the inner city? Or just black, period. They've taken blacks with master's degrees and PhDs and thrown them on the ground. We just stopped it. So, a lot of this shit, and I'm not giving anybody a pass, but I'm not going to act like, and we're doing a whole lot of stupid shit. We're not protecting ourselves. We're right here allowing these fuck-ass Democrats to tell us, well, we don't need no guns. Why? So, you want the police to have all the guns? And every shit. White folks got guns. But the rest of us act like, well, we don't need guns. Okay. Switzerland, they don't have guns. Well, move your ass to Switzerland. In America, goddammit, we have guns. Black people. The thing is, it's not a problem having the guns. It's that we don't seem to have enough of them. And y'all should pay attention to how police react to those who got guns. Now, remember that organization, Not Fucking Around Coalition? And they had their guns. Y'all see the police run up on them? Tell them you better get your ass out of here. No, threaten to shoot them with rubber bullets. No, because iron sharpens irons and guns respect guns. But y'all sitting around here holding protests, no weapons and shit. We live in a country that's passing permitless laws and got passing gun laws that allow you to have guns, and y'all go to protest without guns. What fucking shit is that? Rico, they gonna break out shooting who? Well, Wild Wild West had guns all the time. And according to what they show in history, everybody had guns on their hips. Well, probably except a few of the women, a lot of the women. But they ain't seem to have too many problems. And everybody know everybody packing. That kind of cuts down on the bullshit. And y'all just want to think it's Texas. Well, one thing about it, Texas is not playing about their guns. It's almost like if you don't have a gun, you're the odd man out, odd woman out here. Shit, man, you really have to do what the Romans do here. So it is what it is. But I tell you what, it definitely keeps the peace. You think you're gonna run up on the average person here? Goddamn, you might not make it back. So, black people, I think God hates it that we've stopped being black. We traded our blacknesses for integration and assimilation and acceptance from the very group whose ancestors oppressed, suppressed, and even after they physically let us go, they put in laws and empowered white folks to act a fool, which you ain't supposed to be here. You don't belong here. Let me tell y'all something about that statement. You don't belong here. It is about 500 years old. Whenever I hear a Caucasian say that, it just, in my spirit, it just, oh God. You don't belong here. What you doing over here? These old white folks that can't let the Jim Crow days go, the ones in the 70s and 80s. What you doing over there? You don't belong here. They still say that. That's the people who say that. And then whenever I've heard that, you don't belong over here. You don't belong. You don't belong. I'm telling you, that just sends something in my spirit, because they were able to do all kinds of shit to black folks without any fear of anything. It's like they brought that back. Now, some of you take the coward role out or take the excuse route and say, well, Trump is the one to blame for this. He empowered this. This shit was going on before then, but y'all was in la-la land for 8 years with that biracial president, selected president. White people are still acting the same way. They still act uppity when they see you in nice hotels. They still act the same way, like who the fuck they supposed to be. They still do. They were doing that when Obama was president. They were doing that with Jimmy Carter's. All your Democratic presidents White people still have the same old supremacist, high privileged attitude. So why the fuck y'all think it changed because Trump became president? You dumb bastards. Republicans were always around. They didn't just become elected officials when Trump became president. You stupid. Oh, God. Tell you. See, if you were black, you'll have this intelligence already. But a lot of us have traded our black in. I traded it in. No, we go here. We you know, I expect white people to say, well, everything is not about race. We got Negroes who line up to say, that's not about race. That's not about race. Let me tell y'all dumb fuckers something. Everything under the sun in this country is about race. You understand me? They got police officers in schools chunking your little daughters out the desk and dragging her through the goddamn classroom. They got them beating on little black girls in the high schools. She was surrounded by every other group of people, but they dragging the shit out of black girls. But y'all main motherfucker, because you suburban, that ain't about race. Let me just shake my head at you. God hates that black people have stopped being black. This is what's happening. We always say, God helps those who help themselves. Well, it looks like God ain't helping black people because we are not even helping ourselves. We're spending our time, too much time, which is a relevant conversation, but too much time on why we're not hardly dating, why there is a segment of us that's not dating each other or find each other desirable. Maybe that needs to be solved in order for us to get black again. I don't know, but y'all want to hear something else that's kind of weird about these blacks who stop being black? Y'all know I always invite you. See, I don't run my mouth without giving y'all some references, you know. And I'm gonna have to start read some more of my books again, so I don't want to, you know, sound outdated. But I know for those who've given up their blackness just to be everything else, you know, the gay blacks are the funniest, you know. Like people like Janelle Monáe, I'm a queer woman, blah 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 blah, but didn't say she was black. Going, I know when I first Janelle Monáe, what I saw was a black woman who was gorgeous doing James Brown moves, but now she's acting like a little freaky slut. Now and this is what you call being free, turning into a freaky slut, wearing your little naked clothes, showing us those beautiful tatas. And she got another video I saw where she doing some little groove at a club. So that's what it's called being free? Y'all, come on, man. Because the value on black has been lowered so much, not even black people. Like, nah, I'd rather be gay. Nah, I'd rather be Greek. I'd rather be lesbian. I'd rather be, you know, anything. I got it in my family. I'd rather be Cherokee. I'd rather be Jewish. My grandmother, she was Jewish. No, we're fleeing everywhere instead of being black. Yeah. I damn near have to depend on my biracial folks to keep the blackness going. Hell, even though they're not black, but they push, because they got a black mother or a black father, they push more black than the blacks who got two black parents. I'm like, damn, so biracials the ones gonna have to lead the goddamn front? Because these actual Negroes have been beaten into submission. Then we always talking about economics. Get some money, get some money. I get it. We all trying. I'm trying to get some money again. But if you don't have your sense of self, you don't have your knowledge of your culture, you just a nigger with money. You just an Oreo with money. You just a retard running around here in retail. You hear me? You're no good. And because, like Dr. Claude Anderson always speaks to us, and he's still speaking to us in damn near 90 years old, you know, race is what it is, a race. It is a competition for resources, economics, environmental, educational, political. It is a race, and we used to be in it pretty good. But hell, Then we start dropping the damn baton. Now we don't even pick up the damn baton. Hell, we're not in the race no more. Because immigrants, Asians, Arabs, the Middle Eastern, everybody else come over here, and with the help of America, I'm not gonna leave that out. With the help of America, using our fucking tax dollars to boost them up, and then those arrogant, barely English-speaking motherfuckers start telling black people, even the Africans that fly over here. We ain't talking about not just the ones who jump the fence or swim a river or climb a wall. We talking about these other immigrants who get to fly over here because of black Americans. You know, they have the audacity. Well, y'all are not taking advantage of all the opportunities. Y'all lazy black Americans. You sorry, son of a bitch, you. If your country, wherever you're from, in Asia or in Latin America or whatever, is so fucking great, what you doing over here? Go fight the revolution over there, tough guy, tough girl. No, we fought the revolution, or sacrificed our bodies and our minds and our children so you can bring your arrogant, broken English-speaking ass over here to insult Americans. Yeah, we fucked up. Yes, we are. Y'all go through the shit. Y'all went through just, 20 years over in Africa, in South Africa. Y'all went to like 20 years of apartheid. Y'all went to 25 years of apartheid. And that damn near broke y'all for the rest of y'all goddamn lives. Throughout 300 years of the bullshit. Then 100 more years of laws they put in place. See, apartheid Africans, y'all went through them changing the laws and beating y'all ass. But you didn't lose your culture, your name, your God, and your people. How about 300 years of sodomy, rape? You're losing your culture, your name, your God, your humanity. See, nobody wants to take that into account when they're talking about blacks. And I need black Americans, don't let not one immigrant talk shit to you. You let them know who the fuck they are. You stepping on our backs to fly your ass over here, to crawl over a wall, to sneak through the bushes, to climb a fence, to squeeze your ass through bars or whatever it is to get over here. We made that possible for you to do that. So don't let no fucking foreigner talk shit to you black Americans. Yeah, we're screwed up. But hell, constant fucking terrorism have anybody fucked up. Ain't no goddamn Asian, Korean, Japanese, Filipino, and none of them motherfuckers went through what black Americans went through. Then they bring their ass over here, and the first thing they do is blend right into the white dominant culture. And they already taught before they get over here, don't mess with those blacks. Except here, we'll help you make money off of them. But you don't fool with them because they're lower than you. And that's how they behave. Now, y'all know y'all met some cool Asians, some cool Africans. Yeah, we all have. But the sentiment is the same. You don't ever, whenever you're in a conversation with a foreigner, you make sure you get on their ass. You take your fucking ass back to the rice paddies. You take your fucking ass back to Harry Carey, all that shit. Take your ass back over to where they beating your ass with bamboo sticks over in Asia. And if you have more than three children, that third child will get his fucking head chopped off in China or Japan. Let them know. Because all this that they're enjoying is because of foundational black Americans suffering, dying, standing up having various revolutions. So don't let no motherfucking foreigner, even African foreigners, talk shit. No Caribbean foreigner talk shit to no foundational black American, because we made it possible for them to get their ass over here to kiss white ass. So shut the fuck up. But you want to know what's interesting? Blacks, you know, I just pay attention to a lot of our behaviors. It's very interesting. Now, again, I mentioned Dr. Claude Anderson, and I told you I always like sending references, right? And I always say this: if you are you confused about what being black is? If you're confused about American history as it relates to its relationship with Africans, enslaved Africans, what we call black folks now. I need you to go watch this video. It's called Inappropriate Behavior by Dr. Claude Anderson. You can take, instead of listening to my Sunday morning worship sometimes, just click on that video. You can do it individually. You're in college. You're 50 years old, 60 years old, 19, 15, 13. 1 hour and 54 minutes will change your life. It's a lecture that he did at Dr. Fred Price's church in California. Probably about that video might be 25 years old. He looks a little younger in that video. But it is excellent. It's called Inappropriate Behavior by Dr. Claude. And just look, I know some of you can't stand my guts because of what I say. But one thing about it, I'm not a fan of the KKK either, but when they're talking, they always say something that's the truth. So I wasn't comparing myself to the Klan. I was just talking about how some of us dislike us so much that we don't want to hear them talking, even if they tell the truth. And we, as a lot of us in our race, gonna have to get past that. Because how do you think a lot of y'all got, those of you with your master's degrees and PhDs, how you think you got your goddamn thesis completed or your dissertation completed? You read materials that you totally did not agree with. You suffered through it so you can get that goddamn paper done. So you suffered through this goddamn truth so you can understand what I see and what I understand. So you can understand the promise that we have, the potential that we have as a group in this country. 41 million blacks. We're still behaving like waiters at our own goddamn dinner table. We live in a time right now, high technology, all kinds of stuff, and we still can't keep 100 HBCUs open. We still have a problem with fatherlessness and motherlessness. Yeah, they there, but they screwing kids up because it's against nature for a woman to be raising children by herself. And then for y'all to get to a generation of women to choose that, get out of here. But yet you want some sympathy for some shit you chose. Yeah. And then here, Dr. Claude Anderson has another video. If you say, I want to hear something else that's going to rock me, rock my brain, jump start it, like booster cables from car to car, you hear me? It's called, another one it's called Exceptional People. Dr. Claude Anderson has another video. These two right here, I'm telling you. It's called Exceptional People. He's doing I think he's at it's like a luncheon that he's speaking at. So I think somewhere in Detroit or somewhere. I think he's wearing white. He's at the podium. And because he cleaned, they're having lunch or something, cleaning the glass. The glass is ding, ding, ding. Y'all, here's Dr. Claude Anderson. He's speaking about the very thing that's just crippling us. It's called exceptional. The exceptional. That, not exceptional, but exceptional people. And the first one to start off with is inappropriate behavior. I'll keep pushing these two videos. And he also has books, Black Labor, White Wealth, for those of you who want to read. You know, and I tell you, if we get that in our heads as a group, we'll start seeing some changes being made. We'll start coming together as a group, you know, and repair some of these things, right? That's something black men and black women to do. I'm not going to put it all on the backs of black men, because when you know who the target is, why the fuck would you send them out when you knowing that they waiting on black men? Did y'all hear what I said? Because all this shit about black men can change it, black men. And everybody knows that when you send the targeted group out to do whatever, they already standing there waiting. And so that's why when I hear that shit, I was like, wait a minute now. Hold on a minute. When somebody wants to take down a politician, they don't send somebody who they're waiting to see, or they're armed and they're ready to see. They send somebody that they don't expect. So usually it's a woman. So we got all these black women with all these law degrees, and they in all these boardrooms, but yet they talk about how powerful they are. There's a book and a movie in the 70s called The Spook Who Sat by the Door. Go and find that movie. It's like in the 70s or maybe in 1980. Go and find that movie, and it's a book too by the same name, The Spook Was Set by the Door. Basically what the book is about is a military brother who spent time in the military, then he came back and he taught all of the things he learned in the military to his people when he got back to the hood. All the military science, all the strategies he taught black women in these rooms, because black women aren't a threat to anybody, especially not to the white power structure. So he just let her come on in because, you know, the original sexist, the original oppressor of everybody, especially women, is that white male. So yeah, she's nothing but a woman. And number two, on top of that, a black one. And they know historically how they've had their way with black women. So, you know, shit. Let Foxy Brown on in this motherfucker. Hey, what's her name? Uhura? Sergeant Uhura or Inchman Uhura. How you doing, Uhura from Star Trek? Come on in with your short skirt and your round hips and your beautiful dark skin. Damn right. You think when a pimp want to take down another man or another pimp, the pimp gonna walk up in there? No, he's sending his best girl in there to straighten the business up, catching vulnerable. Y'all remember the movie Harlem Nights? When they want to take their police off their shift, who they send in there? Did they send Fred Sanford's character in there? No, they sent Sunshine. She came in and slithered. Shout out to Layla Rashawn, by the way. She was fine for years, decades. Harlem Nights, Boomerang, Waiting to Exhale. She's just been born fine. Shout out to Layla Rashawn. And they sent her in there, and they had that cop calling his wife and his children and say, hey, this is daddy. Put mama on the phone. I'm not coming back. Yeah, I'm in love with this. I'm in love with a stripper. She ride and she rolling. Daddy, oh, shit. Oh. Let me get my ass out the street here talking to y'all. Fooling around with T-Pain. Hold on, watch what I'm doing here. But y'all get the drift, right? So, sisters, y'all want to really show your power and show how you can really contribute to the black race if you're not so, if y'all haven't become such an individual group, because you know y'all are a separate group now, but still y'all want black men to solve problems, but y'all a separate group. Y'all let these white folks make a fool out of y'all. Yeah, Ice Cube came to y'all with a plan for black people and those whores on that Queensville cocktail show. Mainly Vivica Fox. Gonna yell out. And I think the biracial chick on there. Well, what is that you have for black women? He asked them, are black women black too? Are they black people too? Tell you. Then you got the gay blacks do the same stupid shit. But there's something else I want to point out that tickles me about our community. You know, when because we've stopped being black. Isn't it interesting how black people can point out Sambo or an Uncle Tom or bootlick? Let me give you an example of something. I think it's kind of confusing. Because when you watch that video by Dr. Claude Anderson called Inappropriate Behavior, he breaks down who Sambo is, who Uncle Tom is, right? All right, the tale of two movies, or a movie and a cartoon. Now, black America, or the hood of black America, can watch the Boondocks and hear Uncle Ruckus, right? Man, them niggas, them black son bitch, and man, let me tell you something. I have what's called revitiligo. My skin is getting darker. You know, ain't nothing. They'll get you that beautiful white woman. I'm telling you, oh boy, like a beautiful white woman, like heaven on earth. You know, y'all can call certain people Uncle Ruckus when they're making particular statements. Y'all know, I guess, y'all can identify Uncle Ruckus in black folks. But y'all went and flocked to see the movie Django, and Samuel Jackson played the perfect definition of Sambo that Dr. Claude Anderson breaks down. But y'all don't see the Sambo in black America. I just find it amazing. What did y'all think? What it was based on who was more entertaining? Because they're both horrible figures. And Uncle Ruckus, we found out the reason he hates himself, a hate of the blacks, because how he was treated as a kid. Parents talked to him. They even showed the episode, but his mother and father, mama wearing bleached blonde weave with contacts, and daddy called him all kinds of stupid and mistreated him. But y'all know his rant, Uncle Ruckus's rant, right? Y'all call Kanye West Uncle Ruckus. But what's so interesting, y'all can't see the Samuel Jackson character who, I forgot about to call his name. In Django Unchained, the actual true Sambo. Y'all can't see that in the very people who are actually hurting our race. That is your rappers, your black entertainers, your black athletes. That behavior that Zion Williams is doing, it is stud farm and Sambo behavior. What Future's doing, stud farm and Sambo behavior. What Nick Cannon is doing, stud farm and Sambo behavior. That whole show, Wildin' Out, there's a show full of Sambos. 85 South, a show full of Sambos, Sambo behavior. What a Sambo is one who sits around and buck dance and coons. Y'all know what coons are too, right? For the entertainment of white folks to get a couple of pieces of silver at the expense of his own race. And that's the majority of your black entertainers today. The ones who don't get very far in Hollywood, who are very good at their craft, but they don't get #1 hit records or top box office movies. They y'all know who they are. They don't behave like a lot of your Kevin Harts and all these people. Y'all know what I'm saying? I just find it amazing that y'all can point out an Uncle Ruckus, call a Kanye West and Uncle Ruckus, but y'all don't see the Sambo, the Sam Jackson character in so many black entertainers and black athletes. Black gang members are Sambos. Drug dealers, black drug dealers, Sambos. All these things for the entertainment, for the pleasure of white folks. It's ridiculous. Y'all get it? And so I need y'all to start thinking with this part of your brain. Let the pituitary gland, let it just burst wide open so you can understand it. Because we just act like we've lost our damn minds. And we're going to have to do better. If we want to see better, we're going to have to become active in doing better. Because we've gone too long. And shit has gone too far for us to still act like it hasn't affected us. And we're around here letting everybody kick dirt in our face. Every group, every race. And not just white folks, hell. Everybody's putting their foot up black people's ass. Because we stopped being black. Now, y'all probably won't get this right now. A lot of you, listen about 10 minutes of what I'm saying, then you move on. That's okay. It'll still be on record that Rico said it. And I'm not claiming to be the only one who's spoken like this. I'm just letting you know I'm putting my part of it out there. Because everybody has somebody that'll listen to them. But anyway. In the words of Forrest Gump, I'm tired now. I think I'm going to go home. So I'm going to talk to y'all later. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please check out the description box. It has my PDF formatted short stories, only 50 pages. It's entitled The Greatest Pain Ever Felt, Conversation with an Absent Biological Father Who Never Wanted to Be Found. It's only $10. Cash App you for $, Rico the Opinionist, OPINIONIST. Or you can do $, Rico Rivers RiVERS, RicoRiVERS. And that may still work, but try Rico the Opinionist first. And should you decide to hit me on that Cash App, or PayPal, I'm gonna try to get my Zelle to working too, cause I got Zelle too. I think it's Zelle, Rico, something, I don't know. Yeah. But please send me an email address you decide to support your boy. Either through the purchasing of the short story or just in general, because you might like the page. You might want to continue to support the page. And by the way, speaking of my YouTube channel, I'm up to 380. Thank you so much. I'd like to be up to 500 at least by the middle of July. 500, then I'll be 500 away from my 1,000 goal, but really prefer 1,500 to make sure. And I think I need about 2,000 more hours of viewing hours. So y'all help your boy out. Even those of you don't agree with what I'm saying, y'all know, if you've met me in person, y'all know I'm a cool dude. But these are my thoughts, and I've never mistreated anybody in my life. Anyone who's met me in person, sincerely met me out, I'll talk to anybody. But I know I've said, if I'm not going to discuss what I say on Facebook and all of that, because if you want to hear me talk, you'll say, hey, Rico, here's the Cash App. I want to ask you something about this. Rico, here's the Cash App. I want you to talk about that. Because y'all know we live under capitalism. Even intellectual property, everything is for sale. You hear me? Everything has a price. So respect my fresh. All right. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you later. Peace.